Hello, I'm Jason,
I'm Tristan.
and this is our fair use explanation and how to navigate copyright on YouTube.
Hello and welcome to our crash course on navigating copyright and fair use law. The details of copyright and fair use can be confusing and scary as a content creator. No one wants their hard work taken down, but the core ideas of the law around these concepts are relatively intuitive and can not only make you more confident in your actions, but can also empower you to react to copyright strikes and possibly have your content reinstated.
So copyright. Copyright and fair use as bodies of law exist in order to drive the prosperity of our society. Copyright does this by rewarding and incentivizing creative works. If you do something, it is meant to allow you to benefit more fully from your efforts and talents. Copyright begins when a creative work is made tangible, whether by recording, inscribing, or otherwise putting it into a vehicle where it can be seen to exist from other points in time. For example, if you play a song to your friend, it's not copyrighted, but if you record the song on your phone, then it is copyrighted. This places the creative work in an official timeline of creation, allowing you to prove that the creative work existed prior to others that might infringe on it, as well as allowing you to benefit from that tangible medium from then on. But this could cause some problems and eventually lead to restrictions in the creative domain that could slow or even disincentivize further creative works. Think about how many great works were drawn from others to create amazing new works, or the benefits there are to being able to reference other pieces of art. It would in fact hamper creative production if every work had to completely stand alone from all other pre-existing pieces. Fair use carves out some of the benefits of shared artistic body in a society, allowing for greater and more dynamic productions.
Fair use has no strict definition, which is good and bad for content creators, because while there are no definite lines that can fully predict whether a copyrighted work will be protected, it does allow for flexibility in forms of fair use. Whether or not something counts as fair use is determined somewhat subjectively by 4 factors. If you are hit with a copyright claim and draft a counter notice with arguments around these factors, you must fully and honestly believe that the facts of your case are supported by them.
So the first among these factors is the purpose and character of the use. Within this factor is the distinction between whether the use is for nonprofit, for educational purposes, or for commercial use. If your purpose is education and not seeking profit, then it gains legitimacy for fair use.
It should also be transformative, as in significantly different from the original by creating a new message or meaning with the original work. The further from the original and the more beneficial it is, the more protection your work can be argued to have. The second factor is the nature of the work. If it is factually oriented rather than creative or fictional, it gains more protection under fair use. This underlines a similar purpose as the first factor in allowing more room for educational and social commentary. The third factor is the substantiality of the work used. Taking the core of a creative work, or a substantial portion of it, goes against the argument for fair use. With this in mind, taking a less significant part of a creative work, or very little of it, supports a fair use argument because it shows that the original is being left to its own workings and isn't being used for your profit. The fourth factor is the impact that your use has on the copyright holder. If the use of the copyrighted material deprives the holder of income or of the other benefits of their bundle of rights around their work, then you are straying further from fair use. In tandem with this, the less of a potential impact your use has on them, the stronger a fair use argument grows.
So now DMCA law. An example of DMCA laws in action is a case of Lenz versus Universal Music Corporation. Stephanie Lenz had uploaded a video of her child dancing to Let's Go Crazy by Prince onto YouTube. And in response, Sony Music Corporation, the song's copyright owner, sent a YouTube DMCA takedown notice requesting that her video be removed due to a copyright infringement. In response to this, Lenz issued a counter notice requesting that the video be restored, arguing that it fell under fair use and was not copyright infringement. The panel held that the DMCA requires copyright holders to consider fair use before sending a takedown notification. This example demonstrates the effect of DMCA laws and the actions to take if one's video is taken down. Fair use is subjective, being decided by the purpose, nature, substantiality, and impact of the questioned use of copyright material. Therefore, one may send YouTube, or whichever site the removed post is on, a request to restore said post if you argue fair use.